Hi, I'm Claire Henderson, and this is my author discussion for Ann Petry. Ann Petry is a well-known African-American novelist who was first widely noticed in 1946 for her breakthrough novel The Street, becoming one of the first African-American women to accomplish bestseller status, selling more than 1 million copies. So to begin the presentation, I will discuss Ann Petry's early life and her journey to becoming a writer. She was born on October 12, 1911 in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, to a pharmacist named Peter Clark Lane and a podiatrist named Bertha James Lane. She followed her family's influence and graduated from the College of Pharmacy at University of Connecticut, where she trained and practiced in the family's drugstores. However, that didn't last long because she always wanted to become a writer. In 1938, she married George Petry and moved to Harlem, which was a change of pace for her from her upbringing in Old Saybrook, which was a small New England town. And the economic times were difficult in Harlem, for it was during the time of the Great Depression, but with new arts and politics, she was able to immerse herself into the Harlem community, where she was able to start her writing. And there's Ann Petry. So, the beginning of her career as a writer, she began writing articles for newspapers in Harlem like the Amsterdam News and People's Choice, editing its women pages. Her first breakthrough, however, was in 1943 when one of her short stories was published in The Crisis, which is the journal of the NAACP. Her short story caught a lot of attention, and it caught the attention of an editor specifically who suggested she enter an annual novel writing fellowship, which 10 months later she finished her first novel, The Street, in 1946. So some other major works and accomplishments besides The Street. She wrote The Narrows in 1953, Country Place in 1971, along with short stories and 4 children's books. So, Ann Petry's writing. So, living in Harlem was an experience and I think an inspiration almost in a way for Ann Petry's writing. Her experience of living in Harlem rubbed off on her as she was shown poverty, violence, crime, and economic oppression, which can be seen in all of her novels. In her writings, she illustrates the range of black and white American experience during this time. In most of her novels, Petry shows the biases of race, gender, class, and age, and how they influence the lives of everyone, regardless of whether they are poor or rich, women or men, black or white. So, The Street. Her most well-known novel, The Street, showed most of these things that I mentioned just earlier. It was one of the first novels to address the experiences of black women in terms of race, class, and gender, hitting on the street culture and hard life endured by the characters. The Street is her interpretation of the neighborhood life in Harlem during the 1940s. Petry presents a powerful but painful depiction of the effects of racism and sexism, along with the delusion of the American dream and the wealth surrounding an African-American mother, Ludi Johnson, who attempts to provide a better life for herself along with her son. The book undermined gender role and challenged patriarchal domination in the 1940s, where it suggested a feminist debate long before it was popular in literature. And then some major themes in this novel. The beginning of this novel takes place on a cold and windy day in November of 1944, and it introduces the main character, Ludi Johnson, a single African-American mother looking at an apartment for her and her son, Bub. They have been living with her father and his girlfriend, but Ludi wants to get Bub away from this situation in fear that the father's girlfriend is, corrupting her son. And, so those major themes are very present in this first chapter, especially race, class, and gender. And then after reading the first chapter, the reader is left contemplating whether Ludi will ever have a chance to achieve her goal, or whether she is doomed for failure from the beginning. And just from this first chapter of the book, as seen in the Norton anthology, we get a glimpse of Ann Petry's writing style. Personification is a literary technique that gives human qualities to inanimate objects, and I think Ann Petry uses personification quite nicely in this first chapter to show the relationship between Ludi Johnson and the setting of the novel. She describes the wind as attacking people on the street. The wind grabbed their hats, pried their scarves from around their necks, stuck its fingers inside their coat collars, blew their coats away from their bodies. Personifying the wind as having fingers and creates a tense and frightening tone to the chapter, and possibly the rest of the book. But the wind is also described in a negative way by its actions, doing everything it could to discourage the people walking along the street. Even the imagery, such as the dirt got into their noses, making it hard to breathe, and it wrapped newspaper around their feet, entangling them until people cursed deep into their throats, stamped their feet, and kicked at the paper, shows more about the hostile and nearly almost unbearable environment that they're in right now, and perhaps the actions of the wind foreshadow the rest of the novel by suggesting the struggles, obstacles, and challenges that the characters will have to endure and face. And Ann Petry died in 1997, and I especially like this quote from her: "All life goes in a circle, around and around. You started at one place and then came right back to it again." So, Ann Petry skillfully told stories of the black and white American experience in all her works. The impact of her writing continues to be appreciated by many people, and she is praised as the most successful follower of the 1940s urban protest writing, along with black feminists citing the street as the first African-American novel in which motherhood is a major theme. And here's my works cited, and thank you for listening.